Dad. I thought I would make a little video of what I was doing today. And, to bone up on my audio-visual skills, which are not very strong at all. This is probably the first video I've ever made that wasn't a slideshow. Anyway, Jesse was kind enough to take some video while I was on a practice course, practicing not how to drive, but practicing how to pass the driving test, for which I had a coach who was very helpful and Jesse translated. So this is a course, and you can take classes. It's a bushy band, and they teach you how to pass the written test and how to pass the driving test. I paid for a couple hours of practice and a coach to help me with little details. So like I just driven through a straightaway where there were sensors on both sides. You just had to keep your wheels in between the two sensors, which is obviously no problem for someone with driving experience, but I'm sure that would be difficult for people who didn't have driving experience. Some other little things are like when to turn your signals on, when to use the emergency brake, etc. And these are little details that really can throw you off and make you lose a lot of points and make you actually fail the test.
-32.
So as you can probably tell from Jesse's laughter and the big red letters on the screen, I failed the parking, which should have been so easy because I do it all the time. But you still have to get your tires in between the sensors and not just in the parking space. So this is an S-curve, which is a part of the test that I didn't think I would have any problems with. And really, I didn't really have many problems with pulling into the S-curve. And I definitely have to thank all those U-turns and hairpin turns of Oregon's roads for that experience. But I did have an issue with backing out of the S-curve, which you do also have to do. Now, luckily, they turn the sensors off, so you have 4 chances to back out of the S-curve, but you have to make it all the way out. Thankfully, also, the coach gave me some tips and made me practice over and over and over and over and over and over again on how to do it. And not just how to do it, but how to keep the vehicle in the center of the road. And so there was a mark on the car handle, which he used as a guide, which probably won't be there when I take the test. So I really need to remember which handle I'm looking at. I have to adjust the mirror, and I have to remember all these little tips and guidelines. And Jesse has told me that if I mumble to myself while I'm taking the test, the instructor will probably take off points. You can only lose 32 points before you fail the test. And little things like, not having the car straight or having the car in the middle of the road or not doing your turn signal for every single turn that you have to do can make you fail. So here's me trying the parking test again. Better?
Try it again. Here comes her coach.
You already know that parallel parking was the part I was freaking out about most because I didn't have a lot of practice and I hadn't had to take a test on it before. But actually here, even though you heard Jesse laughing at me for failing on it, I did fairly well on the course. Thankfully, the spaces were much bigger than where Gia had taken me to practice. Gia gave me lots of tips and lots of help, and eventually I was more comfortable with it, but I still had a lot of trouble with it. Here, the coach was very careful and very clear, thanks to Jesse's good translation as well, that what to do and what to pay attention to. Same for the S-curve, all the little hints and things that they gave, and then it made you practice over and over and over again. Really helped both my confidence and the ability and also just the habit of what to look for when. And that really helped a lot. Now I just have to keep my fingers crossed that I remember all of this for the actual test. Okay? Here's my second take on parallel parking. And the coach made sure to tell me that I don't need to be straight. All I need to do is get the 4 tires in the box and then stop, because then I will have passed the test. Here's parking, take 3. Can you see my relief? I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video.